Hey, my name is Sam and welcome to Calves Performance Garage. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and over the last 6 years I've developed a passion for cars, motorsports and tools. I'm a DIY enthusiast with no formal qualifications, but I have the willingness to learn and give things a go. I have started this channel as many of my friends suggested that the work I do and the knowledge I have about cars and Subarus in general would be useful to many people and also be good content. My goal is to post weekly on this channel, and you can expect videos about my projects, motorsports, install guides, mechanical stuff, how-to videos, and tool reviews. My passion for cars started when I was 16 and learning to drive on my L plates. In Australia, drivers start on their learner's plates, driving with a fully licensed driver, then going onto their probationary license, P plates, and then onto a full license. In the schoolyard, my mates and I would always talk about the different cars we could get once we were on our P plates. During class, we'd look at websites like car sales, just dreaming about the kinds of cars we could get and the things we could do to them, and of course, what cars are the best. My favourite shows at the time were Top Gear, Fifth Gear, Scrap Heap Challenge and Wheeler Dealers. Along with these TV shows, YouTube channels like Mighty Car Mods, TJ Hunt, Adam LZ, but especially B is for Build, helped drive my passion to where it is today. My passion for cars stepped up a level when I started looking for my first car. My parents made comments like, buy something cheap for your P plates, so then once you're off you can buy something nicer. Don't buy a hoon car because that will just attract cops and you're just getting yourself into a money trap. So being a typical 16-year-old, I did not listen to my parents and I started looking at different cars. I looked at cars like the Toyota 86, Honda Civic, Integra and S2000 models, Mazda MX-5, Holden Commodore, Ford Falcon, and finally, Subaru Imprezas. I wanted something that would be cheap to run, cheap to fix, cheap to modify, and also be a load of fun. So after watching countless videos, reading countless forums, and looking at Facebook groups, I came to the decision to buy a Subaru Impreza. I found a 2007 Subaru Impreza R on car sales and went to have a look. I did not test drive it myself as I forgot my L plates, but my dad did and he said it felt pretty good. So after trying to inspect the car with my limited knowledge and a poor attempt of negotiating on the price, I ended up putting a deposit down and eventually driving home with said 2007 Subaru Impreza R, also known to most people as a Hawkeye in black. I will give Calves a separate video to itself, but now that I had a car, I needed to learn how to service it and how to maintain it. I'll give Calves a video to itself, but now that I have my own car, I needed to learn how to service it, fix it, and of course, modify it. My dad helped me do my very first oil and filter change using basic tools from his toolkit. My dad is no mechanic, but he's one of the most talented tradespersons I know, and his DIY attitude has definitely rubbed onto myself. So with his help and his guidance, and also some YouTube tutorials, we did my first oil change. Eventually the car was back on the ground, ready to go. With this new sense of pride that I just got from doing my very first oil change, I then started to research a lot more on how to fix different things, how to service the car more in depth, but also what modifications I could do and of course how much they would cost. One focus of my research was to look into how to become a better mechanic. As I'm someone with no formal qualifications or training, it's often very hard to have a look and try to get a good routine to find out the best practices and also what you should and shouldn't do. Over the last 6 years, I've learned and gained a large amount of skills and knowledge about cars, specifically regarding Subarus. A 17-year-old Sam would never have thought that I would have the skills and the knowledge that I have today. For an example, it took me and a mate over 9 hours to install a very basic set of coilovers. But now I can do most modifications, repairs, servicing, and basically tackle any new challenge that is thrown my way. Before I said my passions are cars, motorsports, and tools. But looking past at those three things, my actual passion in life is learning. I've never liked school, but I've always loved learning. And the feeling of achievement from learning a new skill and seeing the result is a feeling I always strive for over and over again. Even with no formal mechanics training, I am often asked, how do you learn all of these things about cars? And how do I start off learning how to modify and fix cars? I always respond with two things. The first thing I always say is find anything on your car that's broken and that needs fixing. No matter how hard it is to get to or how time consuming it is, just do it, as without a challenge or time, you won't learn. The second thing that I always say is if you stuff something up, the cost of fixing it will always be less than the value of the knowledge gained from trying to do it yourself. These two tips are what I consider have helped me the most and have helped me become the mechanic I am today. So to sum things up, the goal of my videos will be to help whoever is watching gain the confidence to give things a go themselves and to always keep learning while documenting my learning journey for myself. If you have any video suggestions, feedback, or general opinions, please comment below. And if you think you will like my content, or you do like my content, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. You can also follow me on Instagram at 07Calves. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.